Hi, this is Kevin. Welcome back to my tutorials on Covidence. Today we'll be looking at Covidence's title and abstract screening interface and going over its features. If you open the title and abstract screening, you will see an overview of the team progress. This progress bar gives a summary of your screening status, showing the portions of studies at various stages of completion for the screening process. Now let's go to the team settings to look at what needs to be set up before we start our screening. Make sure you scroll up, because when you click on the team settings, it will actually take you to a settings page that includes 5 different tabs consisted of other setting options. And to get ready to do the title and abstract screening, let's take a closer look at the 2 of the tabs, the eligibility criteria and the study text. Let's start with the eligibility criteria. In the eligibility criteria tab, we can set up screening criteria to include or exclude articles. This screening criteria help us decide if a research article should be part of our review. It's important to set them up before the screening so the screening decisions are consistent and match the research goals. On Covidence, there are 6 categories of screening criteria. This includes population, intervention and exposure, comparator and context, which is your control group, outcome, study characteristics, and other. These categories are structured using the PICO framework, which stands for population, intervention, comparator, and outcome. The PICO framework is widely used in intervention research for creating research questions and screening criteria. If you want to learn more about this framework, scroll up and you can click the link on the PICO's framework to read additional details. Once you set up your screening criteria, make sure you click the Save button at the bottom of the page, otherwise your work will not be saved. Now let's go back to the tabs on the top. Scroll to the top and click on the Highlights button. This will bring up a menu where you can add color-coded keywords for screening. This handy feature can help you make the screening decisions faster, especially for doing exclusions. And that's why when I screen my articles, I always check the exclusion highlights first, because just having one exclusion keyword is usually enough to exclude an article. After you are done with the screening criteria and highlights, you are ready to start the screening. Go back to the title and abstract screening page. Click on Continue, and you will see a list of articles that you can screen. On the left side of each article, you can toggle the abstract button to show or hide the abstract. Some articles will also have a DOI link in the reference section where you can click through to get the full article. On the right side of each article, there are 3 buttons that you can click. No to exclude an article, maybe to include it, and yes to include it. If you are the only person doing the screening, your decisions will either move the articles to the next screening round if you select yes or maybe. You will exclude them if you select no. If there are 2 or more reviewers, selecting yes or maybe will still move the article forward. However, if one reviewer selects no and another selects maybe, the article will go to the conflicts pile, where both reviewers must review it together to resolve their disagreement. At the bottom of each article, you also have 3 options where you can add comments under note, review the history of the article under history, or mark the article as duplicate. When you are screening your article, you can refer back to your screening criteria at any time. If you scroll up and click Criteria, then you will see a list of criteria that you've set up. You can also toggle the highlights that you've set up, and I always have the highlights turned on when I do my screening because it makes the screening process much easier. In the top right corner, you will find the display option, which lets you set the number of references shown per page. On the right side of it, This is the filter option, which lets you sort your articles by relevance, title, author, or time. Whatever screen decision that you made about your article, there's an undo option that will pop up for you to revert your most recent action. So if I click a no here, then I have this undo button that I can click to reverse my action. Keep in mind that this undo option only applies to the last option that you took, and there's no option to undo an earlier action. And this concludes today's tutorial on the title and abstract screening interface in Covidence. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next tutorial on doing a full text review in Covidence. Goodbye.